Welcome to Pastor Andrew's Inspirations. If you enjoy these videos, please click on the red subscribe button below the video and the bell for more. Welcome to our online church, a congregation made up of many from around the world. No offering is necessary. Subscribing and watching videos will keep us alive under God's watchful eyes. Today we will be learning about the Ancient Garden of Gethsemane. Gethsemane is a garden at the foot of the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem. According to the four Gospels of the New Testament, Jesus underwent the agony in the garden and was arrested before his crucifixion. It is a place of great importance in Christianity. There are several small olive groves in church property, all adjacent to each other and identified with biblical Gethsemane. Gethsemane appears in the Greek original of the Gospel of Matthew and the Gospel of Mark. The name is derived from the Aramaic Gadsam or Gadsmane, meaning oil press. Matthew chapter 26 and Mark chapter 14 call it Corion, meaning a place or estate. The Gospel of John says Jesus entered a garden Kapos with his disciples. According to the New Testament, it was a place that Jesus and his disciples habitually visited, which allowed Judas Iscariot to find him on the night Jesus was arrested. There are four locations, all of them at or near the western foot of the Mount of Olives. Officially claimed by different denominations to be the place where Jesus prayed on the night he was betrayed. The garden at the Catholic Church of all nations, built over the rock of the agony. The location near the tomb of the Virgin Mary to the north. The Greek Orthodox location to the east, and the Russian Orthodox orchard next to the Church of Mary Magdalene. William McClure Thompson, author of The Land and Book, first published in 1880, wrote, "When I first came to Jerusalem, and for many years afterwards, this plot of ground was open to all whenever they chose to come and meditate beneath its very old olive trees. The Latins, however, have within the last few years succeeded in gaining sole possession, and have built a high wall around it. The Greeks have invented another site a little to the north of it. My own impression is that both are wrong. The position is too near the city, and so close to what must have always been the great thoroughfare eastward, that our Lord would scarcely have selected it for retirement on that dangerous and dismal night. I am inclined to place the garden in the secluded vale, several hundred yards to the northeast of the present Gethsemane. All of the foregoing is based on long-held tradition and the blend of the synoptic accounts of Mark chapter 14 and Matthew chapter 26 and the Johannine account or Johannine account in John chapter 18. Mark and Matthew record that Jesus went to a place called the oil press or Gethsemane, and John states he went to a garden near the Kidron Valley. Modern scholarship acknowledges that the exact location of Gethsemane is unknown. According to Luke, chapter 22, Jesus' anguish on the Mount of Olives. Luke does not mention Gethsemane. Luke chapter 22 was so deep that his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground near the tomb of Mary. According to the Eastern Orthodox Church tradition, Gethsemane is the garden where the Virgin Mary was buried and was assumed into heaven after her dormition on Mount Zion. The Garden of Gethsemane became a focal site for early Christian pilgrims. It was visited in 333 by the anonymous pilgrim of Bordeaux, whose itinerarium, Bertigalens, is the earliest description left by a Christian traveler in the Holy Land. In his Onomasticon, Eusebius of Caesarea notes the site of Gethsemane located at the foot of the Mount of Olives, and he adds that the faithful were accustomed to go there to pray. 8 ancient olive trees growing in the Latin site of the garden may be 900 years old. In 1681, Croatian Knights of the Holy Order of Jerusalem, Paul, Antun, and James, brought the Gethsemane garden and donated it to the Franciscan community. The Franciscans own it to this day. A 3-dimensional plate on the right side next to the entrance to the garden describes the above-mentioned gift to the community. A study conducted by the Italian National Research Council, or CNR, in 2012 found that 3 of the olive trees in the garden are amongst the oldest known to science. Dates of AD 1092, 1166, and 1198 were obtained by carbon dating from older parts of the trunks of the 3 trees. DNA tests show that the trees were originally planted from the same parent plant. This could indicate an attempt to keep the lineage of an older tree intact. Then again, the 3 trees tested could have been sprouts reviving from the older roots. According to the researchers, the results of tests on trees in the Garden of Gethsemane have not settled the question of whether the gnarled trees are the very same which sheltered Jesus. Because olive trees can grow back from roots after being cut down. Mauro Bernabe, author of the paper published as a result of the CNR study, writes, all the tree trunks are hollow inside, so that the central older root is missing. In the end, only 3 from a total of 8 olive trees could be successfully dated. The dated ancient olive trees do, however, not allow any theory to be made with regard to the age of the remaining 5 giant olives. In 2014, an archaeological survey of the site was conducted by Amit Raim and David Yeager on behalf of the Israel Antiquities Authority, or IAA. In December 2020, archaeologists revealed the remains of a 1,500-year-old Byzantine church, known as the Church of All Nations, and the foundations of a second temple era ritual bath known as a mikveh. According to Dr. Lay and Dr. Rosario, Greek inscriptions were written on the church's floor as, for the memory and repose of the lovers of Christ. Accept the offering of your servants and give them remission of sin. According to Israel Antiquities authorities, Jerusalem district head Amit Raim The uniqueness of the bath is that it is the first archaeological evidence at the site of Gethsemane, where Christians have made pilgrimages for centuries in the days of Jesus. This was the ancient Garden of Gethsemane. Adonai Nisi, the Lord, is our banner. Remember, if you like these videos, please click on the bell below for more notifications and the subscribe button to keep yourself in. Please share with your friends, and by all means, comment if you need anything. God's blessings be upon us all and this message.